Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to video number 240. And this is the last lecture, which is lecture number 14, based on exchange rates and international finance in a series of lectures on introductory macroeconomics. So, today I'll discuss exchange rates and international finance. Let me start with the definition of exchange rate. Exchange rates By exchange rate, we mean the price of one currency in terms of units of another currency. What does it mean to have a strong or weak dollar? What are the implications of fluctuations in exchange rates? An exchange rate is a price, uh, that is, the price of one currency in terms of another, and so we can analyze it with the tools of supply and demand. Foreign exchange market. Most countries have their own currencies, but not all. Sometimes small economies use currency of an economically advanced and larger neighbor. Dollarize means the use of US dollar as their currency. Sometimes nations share a common currency such as the euro. The market in which people or firms use one currency to purchase another currency is called foreign exchange market. Every exchange rate is a price, that is the price of one currency expressed in terms of another currency. The key framework for analyzing these prices is the supply and demand forces. The quantities traded in foreign exchange markets are breathtaking. International supply and demand. The demand for dollar comes from US export firms seeking to convert their earnings in foreign currency back into US dollars. Foreign tourists converting their earnings in a foreign currency back into US dollars. Foreign investors seeking to make financial investment in the US economy. On the supply side, the foreign exchange market for the trading of US dollars are foreign firms, US tourists abroad, and US investors seeking to make financial investment in foreign economies. Demanders and suppliers of currency in foreign exchange market. Financial investments that cross international boundaries and require exchanging currency are often divided into two categories: foreign direct investment and portfolio investment. Participants in the exchange rate market. The foreign exchange market does not involve the ultimate suppliers and demanders of foreign exchange, literally seeking each other out. The foreign exchange market works through financial institution and it operates on several levels. And most people and firms who are exchanging substantial quantity of currency go to a bank. Most banks provide foreign exchange as a service to their customers, and these banks, known as dealers, then trade the foreign exchange, and this is called interbank market. Strengthening and weakening currency. When the value of currency rises, the exchange rate is described as appreciating or strengthening. When the value of currency falls, the exchange rate is described as depreciating or weakening. With the price of a typical good or service, it is clear that higher prices benefit sellers and hurt buyers, while lower prices benefit buyers and hurt sellers. In the case of exchange rates, it is useful to trace through how different participants in the market will be affected by a stronger or a weaker currency. A stronger currency ensures the prospects of domestic financial investors who have already invested money in another country. This is how do exchange rate movements affect each group. These are the demand and supply shifts in foreign exchange markets. The foreign exchange market involves firms, households, and investors who demand and supply currencies, coming together through their banks and the key foreign exchange dealers. So the diagram on the left shows the US dollar exchange rate. Horizontally, we measure quantity of US dollars traded, and vertically is the exchange rate, and on the right hand side there is the exchange rate, supply and demand of the Mexico. Vertically we measure peso exchange rate in terms of dollars, and horizontally we measure quantity of pesos traded for US dollars in billions. Expectations about future exchange rates. One reason to demand a currency on the foreign exchange market is the belief that the value of the currency is about to increase. One reason to supply a currency is the expectation that the value of the currency is about to decline. In the foreign exchange market, supply and demand typically both move at the same time. Groups of participants in the foreign exchange market, like firms and investors, include some who are buyers and some who are sellers. An expectation of a future shift in the exchange rate affects both buyers and seller, that is, it affects both demand and supply for a currency. Differences across countries in rates of return. The motivation for investment, whether domestic or foreign, is to earn a return. If rates of return in a country look relatively high, then that country will tend to attract funds from abroad. On the other hand, if rates of return in a country look relatively low, then funds will tend to flee to other countries. Changes in the expected rate of return will shift demand and supply for a currency. Since a nation's central bank can use monetary policy to affect its interest rates, a central bank can also cause changes in exchange rate. Relative inflation. If a country experiences a relatively high inflation rate compared with other economies, then the buying power of its currency is eroding. This tends to discourage anyone from wanting to acquire or to hold the currency. The graph shows an example based on actual episode concerning the Mexican peso. Purchasing power parity. There is a relevant concept, arbitrage, and it is the process of buying a good and selling goods across borders to take advantage of international price differences. Purchasing power parity is the exchange rate that equalized the price of internationally traded goods across countries. One reason to demand a currency on foreign exchange market is the belief that the value of the currency is about to increase. The purchasing power parity exchange rate has two functions. Number one, PPP, that is purchasing power parity. Exchange rates are often used for international comparison of GDP and other economic statistics, and exchange rates will often get closer and closer to it as time passes. Exchange rates aggregate demand and aggregate supply. A central bank will be concerned about the exchange rate for three reasons. Movements in the exchange rate will affect quantity of aggregate demand in the economy. Frequent substantial fluctuations in the exchange rate can disrupt international trade and cause problems in a nation's banking system. The exchange rate may contribute to an unsustainable balance of trade and large inflows of international financial capital. So foreign trade in goods and services typically involves incurring the costs of production in one currency while receiving revenues from sales of another currency. This slide is about fluctuation in the exchange rates. Exchange rates can fluctuate a great deal in the short run. One of the most economically destructive effects of exchange rate fluctuations can happen through the banking system. This process of borrowing in a foreign currency and lending in a domestic currency can work just fine as long as the exchange rate does not shift. These are the various types of exchange rate and policies. We can see here four different types of policies. The one is a floating exchange rate or freely fluctuating exchange rate, and this is completely determined by the market forces of demand and supply. Then we have soft exchange rate, pegs. Exchange rate is usually determined by market, but central bank sometimes intervenes. Hard exchange rate pegs, central bank intervenes in market to keep currency fixed at a certain level. And then we have merging currencies, that is the currency is made identical to the currency of another. Nations need to think about what exchange rate policy then should they adopt, and exchange rate policies come in a range of different forms as we discussed. Floating exchange rate is basically a policy which allows the foreign exchange market to set exchange rates referred to as floating exchange rate. The US dollar is a floating exchange rate as are currencies of about 40% of the countries in the world economy. Movement of fluctuating exchange rates have advantages. All prices of goods and services rise and fall throughout a market economy, and demand and supply shift. Uh, Using soft pegs and hard pegs, a government can intervene in the foreign exchange market when the exchange rate of its currency is different from what the market would have produced. This is established a peg. A soft peg is the name of an exchange rate policy where the government usually allows the exchange rate to be set by the market. With a hard peg exchange rate policy, the central bank sets a fixed and unchanging value for the exchange rate. A central bank can implement soft peg and hard peg policies. Trade-offs of soft pegs and hard pegs. When a country decides to alter the market exchange rate, it faces a number of trade-offs. One concern with pegged exchange rate policies is that they imply a country's monetary policy is no longer focused on controlling inflation or shortening recessions. Another issue arises when a central bank intervenes directly in the exchange rate market. A central bank that causes a large increase in the supply of money is also risking an inflationary surge in aggregate demand. Another issue is that when a government pegs its exchange rate, it may unintentionally create another reason for additional fluctuation. A merged currency is a common currency shared with one or more nations. This approach eliminates foreign exchange risk altogether. Uh, a, merged, a merged currency also poses some problems, and it means that a nation has given up altogether on domestic monetary policy and instead has put its interest rate policy in the other hands. There is no consensus among economists about which exchange rate policies are the best: floating, soft peg, hard peg, or merged currencies. Uh, Here are some questions for quick review. You can go through this. There are some more quick review questions. How do exchange rates influence aggregate demand and supply? What is the difference among a floating exchange rate and soft peg, a hard peg, and a merged currency? What are the trade-offs that come with floating exchange rate, a soft peg and a hard peg, and a merged currency? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a YouTube channel named Research Made Easy with Himi Khan. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the red button and do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you can get notification about other useful and informative videos on various topics of economics. You can also like, share, and write down your comments in the comment section. I thank you very much for watching this video. See you in another video in another playlist. This is the last video in the series of lectures on